to go to the vet. We always stop in this park because I bring her on the subway in her bag, and then I like to put her leash on, give her a little bit of walk in the park, and then I walk her the rest of the way to the vet. So she is in here, ready to get out. She doesn't like her leash, so she might not be super agreeable to coming out. Come on. She doesn't want to come out. She's like, oh, I see my leash there. Oh, good girl. She was really good on the subway. She was very hot, so she was panting, but very quiet because she likes to be in her bag. It's her safe place. Otherwise, she might be squeaking or licking the floor, wanting people to come see her, getting really excited. But I forgot how heavy she is. She seemed really heavy today. On the grass. Lulu did a really good job at the vet. We got these things for her, her Revolution. The vet gave us a free blanket. It's so cute. And also this thing of poop bags. So these are nice little treats for Lulu. Little gifts. It is a really beautiful day out, but I am exhausted from bringing Lulu to the vet. I also went to Serano Bakery on the way back. I just got a little bit of baklava because Hubby and I are actually heading to the Niagara region tomorrow. So I didn't want to buy too many things, and I think the baklava is our favorite item from there anyway. So I got 6 pieces of baklava. Oh, they smell so good. I can't wait to try a few of these. It's been a year since we've had treats from this bakery, and it is such a highlight whenever we bring Lulu to the vet. Lulu still weighs about the same as last year, so I think I'm just not used to carrying her in her bag anymore. She's 2.4 kilograms plus the weight of her bag, so it's actually not that much. Maybe I need to do a bit more strength training. I think I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the day. I put up the hammock this morning. It is officially hammock weather. I'm so happy. I did spend a little bit of time in the hammock once I put it up this morning, which was so relaxing. I don't know if I'm gonna go out. Actually, you know what? I think I will have some hammock time now. Hubby, Lulu, and I are in St. Catharines. We're only here for 2 nights and we checked in yesterday. The room is really nice, very spacious and comfortable, and we had a very delicious hotel breakfast today. We went to check it out and we saw these waffle makers, and every time I have freshly made waffles at a hotel, like DIY waffles, they are so good, and then I'm tempted to get a waffle maker. This particular waffle maker had a timer and it was really easy to use, and the waffle came out perfectly. They didn't have maple syrup, they had like some sweet syrup that was still very delicious. I added a pat of butter, and I also sliced a banana and put it on top along with some sliced almonds. It was very good, and I'm looking forward to having it again tomorrow. After breakfast, we took Lulu out for a walk, and we just stayed in this area, and there's really nothing around. We played Pokemon Go for a bit and just let her slowly walk around. She has slowed down a lot. She was walking at a snail's pace, and she really enjoys chewing on grass right now. It's been maybe a couple of years that she's been doing that. She had a piece in her mouth. It looked like a piece of hay. a stem of something, and she was just walking around with it, chewing it. It was really cute. Eventually she ended up dropping it. She got quite dirty after her walk because she's so low to the ground and picking up all of the dew from the grass, and all of the little pieces of like earth stick to her. So we gave her a quick little rinse off when we got back to the hotel, and she is so pooped now. She is so tired. Hubby and I just arrived at Pearl Morissette. We are here for lunch, and this is actually the reason we decided to take this short trip to St. Catharines. Our hotel is about a 12-minute drive away, and Lulu is staying at the hotel during lunch, so we wanted to be close by so we could have lunch and then pop back to the hotel to see how Lulu's doing. Really excited for lunch. Pearl Morissette is a winery. I think it opened around the start of the pandemic, and the restaurant had a lot of buzz around it, and it got really great reviews. So I've been curious about it for a while, but because it's in the Niagara region and we have Lulu and we don't really like to leave her all that much, it's not really possible for us to come just for lunch or just for dinner. So we decided to make a 2-night stay out of it. Lunch at Pearl Morissette was fantastic. It was a tasting menu, so it was a long lunch. I think we were there for almost 3 hours, but I think it was a little bit less tiring having that length of a meal at lunchtime versus at dinner time. Even still, I was commenting that if we had driven in from Toronto, it would have taken probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to the restaurant, then having a 2 to 3 hour meal, and then having to drive back for an hour and a half to 2 hours would have been exhausting. Even today, being 12 minutes away from the restaurant, we got back to the hotel and we were so tired. We had a long nap, and it is almost dinner time already. It's been a while since we've had a meal in a restaurant, and it's been an even longer time since we've had a tasting menu because we're not really seeking those out anymore. This tasting menu was really good. I was just talking to my friend the other day about how tasting menus can be hit or miss. They're really long, they're really expensive, and often the dishes are good but not great. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 dishes out of the entire tasting menu that are fantastic, but all of these dishes were delicious. Every single course was so tasty. It was a 11 or 12 course menu, depending on how you count the courses. And they gave us a little souvenir menu afterwards, which was great. In terms of drinks, Hubby and I shared everything that we got. I had a cocktail to start, and it was really tasty. It was the sumac spritz, and it was very like sweet and nectary, but also refreshing and very, very delicious. And Pearl Morissette being a winery, I also wanted to try one of their wines. I'd had one before at a restaurant in Toronto, so this is only the second time I've tried their wines. Their wines are, I'd say, like hard to find, and they are a bit expensive, so I don't know if I would ever really buy a bottle. But during lunch, I had a tiny 3-ounce pour of one of their Pinot Noirs. Hubby had something really interesting. He had the garden pairing, which is a non-alcoholic pairing of 6 different juices that they make themselves, and each juice was very different, so it's not like an orange juice or an apple juice or anything like that. And because we shared all of the drinks, we just kind of like sipped back and forth, I was able to try all of the different juices with the courses that they came with. All of them paired so nicely with the dishes. If we ever were to go back, and I would definitely consider going back, I would probably get the juice pairing too. It's kind of pricey for what it is. It was $59 per person for the juice pairing, which initially I was like, I had a bit of sticker shock when I saw that, because they do allow you to purchase the juice pairing or the wine pairing. The wine pairing is $135 per person, which would have been like too much wine for either of us. And even for both of us, even if we shared the pairing, it would have been too much, I think. But because they allow you the option of buying up front, I didn't take that option. I figured we would decide when we were there. I think I had time to get over the sticker shock, and by today, when we were sitting down, the $59 actually sounded reasonable. Anyway, it was a splurge meal for sure, and it was also to celebrate my birthday. Although I booked the meal, so we are splitting the cost of the meal, but hubby very kindly paid for all of our drinks, and we just had a very lovely lunch. A lot of bugs. We are at the waterfront and it is very foggy, so we can't see much, but there are a lot of boats here, and we just ordered a little bit of takeout. We ordered a chicken schnitzel sandwich from a local place, and we're gonna wander around for about 20 minutes and see if there's a place where we can sit and eat. I see benches, but they kind of just like stare out into the fog. The fog is really thick. Thank goodness we got one schnitzel sandwich to share because it is huge. I don't know if you can tell how big this is. It is really big.
It's bigger than my hand. Holy.
It looks really good.
Holy. What the size of this thing? Holy.
Hubby and I are back at the hotel now. We are eating chips in bed while watching hockey. I'm having these Doritos Collisions. So they're intense pickle plus Cool Ranch, and I am super thirsty. We both got these Arizona grapeades, very refreshing. We were just talking about how we really enjoy just like hanging out at the hotel when we go places. So we don't really stay out too late or for too long. We just really like relaxing, eating in bed, which I never do at home.
I think the fact that the players were able to get into good defensive positioning beforehand, and there's the yell from the
Hubby and I are in this cute little town. I think this is Jordan, and we are heading to the Pearl Morissette Bakery, which is about a 6-minute drive from where we had lunch yesterday. We want to pick up some of their delicious sourdough and maybe a scone or like a sweet pastry, something along those lines, and then I think we are going to head home. Here's the bakery. It's so cute. It has been a few days since we got back from St. Catharines, and that 2-night getaway was so much fun. I wouldn't mind doing it again next year. The exact same trip. We planned it really nicely because we left in the evening, so we missed a lot of the rush hour traffic on Friday afternoons. And then we drove back first thing Sunday morning with just a quick stop at that bakery. So there was no traffic coming back into the city because it was the Sunday of a long weekend. Monday was a holiday, so I think a lot of the people who went out of town would have driven back on Monday. It was literally the perfect getaway with zero stress. I also wanted to mention that the sourdough we got from the Pearl Morissette Bakehouse was delicious. It tasted exactly like the sourdough from the restaurant, but it's a smaller loaf, whereas the restaurant slice was huge. We ended up eating 2 of those giant slices each when we were at the lunch, so that's probably why the tasting menu was more filling than if we had just eaten the individual courses, not including the bread course. In addition to the sourdough, we bought 2 pastries. One was the rose rhubarb sablé, which was very good, nice and sweet, and also very like cakey and dense. And as well, we got a blackberry scone, which was also delicious. There are a couple of other food bits that I want to talk about before I end off this vlog. The first being that Hubby and I have been really into having sushi bowls every week. It's a chain of Japanese restaurants, and I've only been to this one location, but their salmon bowls are so good. The best thing about them is that they give you 12 generous pieces of salmon sashimi on top, and there are also other things in the bowl that are really delicious that I love. Overall, it's just such a delicious and satisfying meal, and I'm surprised I haven't gotten sick of the sushi bowls yet. I think it's because we only eat them once a week, so it's still a bit of a treat, whereas if we had them more often, I probably would have gotten sick of it. The last thing I want to mention before I close off this vlog is that we ordered some donuts from Isabella's, and they were so good. We did order 6, but they are so easy to eat. You might be wondering about my cholesterol if you watched my last vlog. I went to see my doctor and I mentioned that I had taken a look at my blood work and it looked like my cholesterol was a bit high. She pulled out my results and she said she actually wasn't concerned at all about my cholesterol. There's this risk score for cardiovascular disease, and because I am so low risk, she actually said that my LDL needs to be below 5. It did track up though, so I am still continuing with the way I've been eating in the way that I mentioned in my last vlog. Even though my doctor isn't that concerned about it, and I actually wasn't that concerned either initially, I do want to make these changes because I recognize that I was eating a lot of saturated fat and processed food. I know that's not doing great things to my body. I want to take care of my body, and the cholesterol numbers gave me a reason to make a change. And now that I have made the change and I'm feeling really good, I have continued along with that. I think that is going to be it for this vlog. I do plan to continue to vlog today and beyond because my birthday is tomorrow, so I want to talk about how I'm spending birthday week. But this seems like a good place to end off the vlog that you're watching now. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll be back very soon with another vlog. Bye!